Right, hi, it's Graham here again, and today I've got Laura and Joe from RevitaliseU-Kent. I did a chat with somebody the other week, and on the back end of that, I had a lot of really good feedback. So I'm going to extend this, and I'm doing it with a lot more businesses now. So I'm just going to shut up for a second and let Joe and Laura introduce themselves. So over to you guys.
Hello, yes, thank you, Graham. I am Joe from RevitaliseU-Kent, one of the partners with Laura, and we go and do wellbeing at work, treatments, massage, reflexology, and desk assessments.
Hi, I'm Laura Kinnard. I'm the other half of RevitaliseU-Kent.
So thanks, guys. Really great to see you. So, Laura, just tell me a little bit about how you got started with RevitaliseU-Kent, and what inspired you to actually get going with it.
Okay, so before I met Joe, I was a holistic therapist myself. I came into that quite late in life. I have always had an office background and decided to retrain a number of years ago now to work more closely around my family and to sort of spend some more time with my family. So I trained as a holistic therapist, and our membership body that we belong to is the Federation of Holistic Therapists, and they held regular meetings for therapists as support groups. And I met Jo at one of those meetings because she was doing a talk for us about the Harmony Therapy Trust that she was volunteering for at the time. And it was a really inspiring talk, and hearing all about the charity and what Jo did for them. Right. And very soon after that meeting, that we had a village fair. We realised we both lived in the same village, and the Harmony Therapy Trust were holding a stall at the fair to raise money for their charity, and Jo was wondering if anyone would like to help. So I volunteered and helped out on the day, providing therapies. I did Indian head massage, I believe, and it went really well. Jo and I clicked and became friends, and then sort of RevitaliseU was born from there, really, and I'll let Jo explain a bit more.
Brilliant, thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, like Laura as well, I'm from an office background, so I started off in banking, loved the customer service side, but then a year after sort of starting, my brother had a severe accident.
Oh, right.
And he was badly burnt, and I stayed in hospital and helped him recover from that with his skin burns, and the nurse trained me how to massage the aqueous cream into his skin grafts. And I've just got a distinct memory of him not being able to feel his feet and just rubbing his feet, not really knowing what I'm doing, and him saying, "I can now feel my feet." And wow. I just think something clicked there. And from that day on, I've gone on and done training in massage therapy. But it took quite a few years for me to leave the bank. Again, I enjoyed the customer service side, but not so keen on the sales. But going forward quite a bit now, having the children, that's what a massage and, therapy work is so adaptable around families. So once I'd had my family and, wanted to start off and restart on a new career with the therapy side, I was doing Pamper, and I wanted to go forward with putting the office and the therapy work together. So I was just sort of beginning of that. And then I met Laura, and, so it all sort of came together, and RevitaliseU-Kent was born. So it's brilliant.
Brilliant, brilliant. And so how long did you both train? I mean, how long did it take to become what you do? Is it different courses or one big course? Just how does it all work?
It depends really what therapy you do. I've done mine as a MVQ, and as part of that you can choose which element that you want to train in. So my core training, if you like, is in body massage, and then I've done additional courses after that in my other treatments, such as the Indian head massage, seating massage, Reiki, and all of my other treatments. So it depends very much what you do, and so then you can add on to that over time. And I know Jo's done things slightly differently, haven't you, as well?
Yeah, definitely. I started actually doing beauty therapy and massage, and like Laura, the massage side of it is the MVQ. And then slowly, as you progress, you kind of go into different channels of learning. And I decided I preferred the sports side of it. So I did sports injuries and the sports pre and post therapies, and then the reflexology. And then as my career progressed, like Laura, I went more holistic down that route. But to be honest, I think Laura agree, you never stop training.
No.
We were last training a lot, weren't we, every 6 months?
Yeah.
With a governing body, the Federation of Holistic Therapists, you have to do at least 10 CPD points a year. So every year we are doing more training. We're always, doing something to upskill.
That's brilliant. And I saw one of a post recently. Was it you, Joe? You got a recent qualification. What was that? What was that a certificate for?
Yeah, that was the story massage. And so it kind of inspired me last year, because we were asked by a children's charity to help them with their wellbeing event.
Oh, wow.
So there are a children's heart charity from Thomas Hospital in London, and they wanted us to help them with their wellbeing event, didn't they, Laura?
Yeah.
And it's, we were just trying to think outside the box. How can we help the parents? How can we help the carers? How can we help the children? Then I came across this story massage, and I thought, you know what, that would be great. Obviously, it wasn't enough time to help them on the day, so we put together our own program, didn't we? And but then going forward, if they want to use us again, which they will do in the future, or other charities or children's charities, and I thought that would be really useful for them. It's about blending stories and poems. And anything they're doing in the classroom, really, you can make into a story, and then you're making it. There's certain movements that the story massage program company has developed that's very personal to them, that you learn from them, and then you can put it into a story or poem for the children. It's really very visual and positive touch, which I think what every human being needs is that positive touch, isn't it, to make them feel good.
It's a difficult time for that as well, isn't it? So
yeah,
that's amazing. I've never heard of that before. That kind of therapy. That's really different.
No, it's actually worldwide. They have managed to spread their word and their story massage program around the world. So they're doing it everywhere. It's lovely. Not just for children, actually, even for like the elder community and people with dementia, because you can do it on their hands. Just do it gently on their back. You can use it, to remind them of certain things that, that's nice for them. It's good memories.
Fantastic. So obviously you're skilled in a variety of different techniques and therapies, but overall, you two working together, what is your speciality? What makes you guys unique amongst anybody else? What's special?
Well, we obviously been doing this for quite some time now. So we're going to businesses and doing the massage, reflexology and Indian head massage. And what we noticed was that the people coming back with the same concerns and same issues. So we wanted to try and help these people in a more long-term issues. And we realised that a lot of it is because of how they're sitting at their desk. So we're in an opportunity where we could do the training for the desk to become a desk assessor. And so I think that's what our uniqueness is. So we look at them, the whole body, holistic way. Right. And to help with all their musculoskeletal concerns and their emotional concerns, and help them whilst they're at work. And also it can help them with every aspect of their lives, really, because we all hold a bag in a funny way, or sit in a car strange, or sit watching the telly funny. And just talking about your habits and how you sit and how you arrange your desk actually makes you be more aware of your own body and your musculoskeletal aches and pains, and helps you long term. So I think that's what we were trying to do in massage and desk assessment, is trying to help you as a whole person in the long term.
And that's really worked, hasn't it? Because we had some really great feedback very early on after doing the desk assessments on clients that had been treating for a while. And then as soon as we then started bringing into the consultation, the desk assessment hints and tips, because obviously if they're working for a company and they've already had a desk assessment, we can't actually go in and do a desk assessment for them. That needs to be their own business. But we can say to them, well, you still keep coming back with this pain in your neck all the time. Have you checked the screen height? And they say to us, oh yeah, well, I've had a desk assessment done, but that was 18 months ago. And we say to them, well, go back to your desk, check the screen height, and the next time I see you, let me know. And the next time they came back, they were saying to us, oh my goodness, yeah, I've checked the screen height, and actually, yeah, you're right, it was far too low. I've moved it up and it feels so much better. So straight away, as soon as we've done that training, and when we started using that, we got such great feedback from the client show, didn't we?
Yeah, most definitely.
One of the other things that I think makes us unique compared to other businesses that might offer corporate massage is that when you contact RevitaliseU-Kent, you will speak to either Joe or myself. We'll correspond with each other as just either myself or Joe and the business. And then when we visit you, you will get Joe and I. So RevitaliseU-Kent is our baby. It was created by us, it's run by us, and you get us as therapists. And we think that's quite a unique selling point for us as well, because we build up that relationship with the businesses that we work with and their staff. And if we're going regularly, people do start to open up to us and trust us. So really, that's a very important thing for us. Other companies that might not be the case. You know, you might speak to an administrator on the telephone to start your booking, and then you get a different therapist for 1 month, and if they go in again, you might get another different therapist. And the therapy that we provide works so much better when the person in front of you is relaxed, both physically and emotionally as well, because obviously if they're tense, they're not going to enjoy the treatment, they're not going to get very much out of the treatment, and if they don't trust you, then they're not going to want you to touch them, and they're not going to open up to you as well. So a part of our uniqueness is it's our baby, and you get us right the way through.
Brilliant. So how does it work? Do you get business referrals, and what's your method of contacting these businesses? How does it work?
A lot of it has been word of mouth and recommendations, to be honest. It's people hearing about our services and how we've helped other people, and they've contacted us. We've been very lucky. We've had some fantastic clients who we've worked with on a long-term basis now, and we've got really good rapport with them and their staff. But most of our work has been word of mouth, which is fantastic.
Yeah. I think businesses are investing more in their in their clients now, and offering more wellbeing packages, which are including services like us. So that's brilliant, really good and beneficial for the staff.
Yeah, that's amazing. And do you have a specific area? Obviously, you're RevitaliseU-Kent. Do you work further afield at all in central London, or is it mainly businesses in the Kent area?
I think we were originally Medway, weren't we, Laura?
I say I laugh because originally when we first created RevitaliseU all those years ago now, it was back in 2013, I remember we were sitting around one of our dining room tables show, weren't we, and we were sort of brainstorming and creating this business out of nothing. And we sort of thought about Medway, and Joe's original plan was Gillingham Business Park, wasn't it, Joe, which is very close to where we live. That was our goal, and we thought, this would be amazing if we can target some of these businesses on Gillingham Business Park. And the ironic thing is that actually hasn't happened at all. But what we have done is we've gone across Medway, and then that expanded, and it's gone across outside of Medway into other parts of Kent. We've now actually gone into Essex, and we're going into London as well. So it's exploded so much more than we envisaged all those years ago, Joe, hasn't it?
Definitely.
That's so good. And how long have you been running together now?
2013 we were born.
So not actually that long in terms of as a business working together. So you've expanded very quickly in that time.
Lots of hard work, sweat and tears.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll get on to lockdown in a moment, but so what's the last 6 months been? I mean, we've probably already touched on it, but what's the last 6 months been for you guys?
I think it's developing more with the desk assessment side, I think, as well, because I think we'd already been using the therapies really well, and every year we're always doing extra CPD training just to develop those extra touches for people's massage and little tips to help them through. But yeah, we've been trying to really push forward people's posture analysis. So we've just recently done those 2 courses up in London. That was November last year, wasn't it, Laura?
Yeah, I think they 2-day course.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was really, really good. So I think, we've been focusing on people's posture assessments and seeing how we can improve in that way. Anything else, Laura, I think?
No, I think that's like you say, that's what we're doing, and really sort of pushing those 2 things forward for the future, really. So we've been one of the new jobs that we've had recently that was really exciting for us is we've taken the desk assessments actually out on site for the first time. So one of our businesses we're working with for a long time has they're a construction company, and so they have offices that we've worked in for a long time now, partly doing the massage and the workplace wellbeing treatments, but also doing the desk assessments for them. And they wanted us to go out to their construction sites, so that was really exciting for us. So just before lockdown, we went started our travels across Kent, actually onto building sites doing the desk assessments. And wow. Again, some of the staff were a little bit sceptical. I think that's fair to say, Joe, wasn't it? That they were a bit kind of, those big burly men were, how's this going to help?
Feedback was amazing.
It was, yeah. So after we'd done the assessment and the feedback that we got, they were really, really pleased. And definitely could see a positive in our service that we were providing. So we've got lots more of that to come, and it'd been great to expand some more on that as well.
Fantastic. So you're definitely going places. However, very strange situation across the entire world, and obviously very similar to myself. When I work with people, I tend to have to be in their company. So what's the challenges around this for you guys?
I think one day at a time, we've said, haven't we?
Yeah.
So each day, because obviously we've got children at home as well, like many of us as well. We're homeschooling, and you know, just trying to maintain everything, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that Joe and I, as therapists, one of the difficulties for being in lockdown in this situation is that obviously we want to help people. That's our passion, that's our love, and that's what we want to do. You know, we hate to see people struggling both physically and mentally, and we can't do anything, and that's so frustrating. And you know, that causes me a lot of emotional discomfort, because I want to help people. That's why we're in this industry. So yeah, the sooner we can get back out there and helping people, the better, I think.
Yeah, I think one way of trying to combat that is just trying to keep in touch with our clients at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've been sending them an email, we've been phoning those ones that we're able to phone and speak to directly, or we've been doing social media posts, just trying to do those more frequently, just to sort of keep ourselves out there and give out those little tips, you know, as and when we can, haven't we?
Yeah, very much so.
How have the clients that you've called, how have they responded?
Yeah, I had one lady in particular who was trying to work from home, and she set a desk up herself. So, you know, I gave her little tips as she's done really well anyway. So I just kind of tweaked a couple little areas, and then carried on chatting about, you know, some stiffness that she had on her left shoulder. And then we were chatting about that, and then carried on chatting, and then actually, we're mental health first aiders as well, and the conversation turned to actually things that were upsetting her in other areas. So putting sort of my mental health first aid hat on, just naturally just went through a few other areas that I could help with. Yeah. And then when I asked her feedback overall, what had helped, she said it was more the mental health side that was really helpful and beneficial to her, and relax her shoulders at the same time, because you know, when you're emotionally tense and upset, or it does bring on the muscles up here, and because you hold them up tight, so that helped her a lot. So that was really good, and that was interesting to hear, because I think at the moment we do feel as though our hands are tied behind our backs, because these are our tools and we can't use them right now, and it is quite frustrating as to how we can help people, and this is all new to us, all this Zoom and video calling, and we're not quite sure how to use it. So I think we're learning as we're going, and talking to her and knowing that I can still help her in some way. We're learning, and it's having that feedback back and forth. I'm thinking, right, okay, that was good. I can do this. I can still help my clients in a different way than having it hands-on.
Brilliant. And Laura, I know you do quite a lot of social media stuff. So I mean, are you finding that helpful? You're getting good feedback, engagement through, you know, I guess you're sharing tips about what to do from home.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've been trying to do is really provide some engaging posts with hints and tips about what people can do to help them physically and emotionally at home as well. So as Joe touched on there about some videos, so both of us are getting out of our comfort zone and doing some videos, which has been really interesting. Brilliant. We've also been putting on some other posts that we design and put on there with hints and tips as well. And we've also been sharing some other posts from other leading organisations such as Mental Health First Aid England, Mind, etc. as well, just to really give people a place where if they wanted to have some hints and tips and information, they can come and, you know, it's on our page, and hopefully that might help some people.
Fantastic. So, you know, for anyone watching this, what could help you at the moment? What can our viewers sort of say that, you know, what can they do for you to help you as a business?
Well, I think going back to the social media, that is something that we always try to increase our followers and our numbers who like our pages as well. So that would be amazing if people can like and follow us. We're on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter as RevitaliseU-Kent. And both Joe and I are on LinkedIn under our names as Laura Kennard and Joe Taylor-Davis. So if you're on social media, then like our pages. Also, if you see our posts come up in your newsfeed, please like, comment and share the post, because that really helps. Otherwise, the way the algorithms work, if people don't engage with them, it stops them showing in people's newsfeeds. So just a simple like would be really helpful. Also for our clients who've already had a treatment with us, if they can leave us a testimonial or a review on Facebook or indeed LinkedIn, again, that'd be really appreciated and really amazing. And yeah, just try and help us social media wise would be great. So the other thing that people could do to help us would be to consider purchasing gift vouchers for after out of lockdown. Both Joe and I work in clinics. Joe works at Timwood Healthcare in Wigmore, and I work at Kent Wellbeing Hub under the banner of RevitaliseU-Kent. So obviously everyone's going to be stressed and emotional. So, you know, if you want a little bit of me time, a bit of pamper time, if you want to get those aches and pains sorted out for a few months down the line, or, you know, people have missed birthdays maybe, or missed Mother's Day as well. So, you know, gift vouchers are a great option, and that could really help us as well.
Yeah, that's good. I think you're right. And what I'll do is when when we show this video, I'll make sure that I'll put all the links to, you know, how people can do that for you as well. So
Brilliant,
make
thank
sure
you.
we get that sorted out. So that's great. It's really fascinating that you're not. I've heard a lot of businesses just kind of shutting up shop and kind of sticking their head in the sand, hoping that somebody's going to bail them out. But you're actually both being really active and proactive in saying, well, you've got skills, let's use them and get out there. I think that's really, really, you know, something to be proud of yourselves, actually, you know, still fighting for it and caring so much as well. I mean, that's brilliant.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's the therapy side. That's being the therapist in us. You know, as I mentioned before, that's what we're, you know, why we're in this industry. You know, because we have that passion for caring and looking after people and wanting to help people.
Yeah.
And I think right from the start of our business as well, isn't it, Laura? I think, you know, right from the start, we were juggling everything. You know, we're juggling family, juggling our work, juggling everything. And I think we've always had to look outside of the box all the time. How can we do this? How can we get there?
Yeah.
You know, how can we get into offices? How can we be desk assessors? How can we get up to London and sort out childcare?
Yeah.
So this is kind of just, it's another challenge
Yeah.
you're just going to overcome and,
Absolutely.
you know, and meet it head on. It's you know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's great. I think the fact that you've got a purpose and are taking action, you know, leveraging that purpose with the action you're taking is something to admire in any sort of business. And I think that's what more people should be doing. You know, it's kind of my ethos as well. So that's great. So I'm going to ask you in turn, which, you know, I'm probably worse than anybody at the moment. I'm constantly sitting in front of a computer screen. Top tip, Laura, from, you know, the top tip that you can give out now for people working at home.
Movement. Don't sit still all the time. It's very easy to sit, you know, in front of the computer screen for hours. And obviously, if we're not used to being working from home, when we're in the office, it might be that we get up to go to the photocopier or, you know, go and speak to a colleague in another part of the office. So movement is really important. So if you can set a timer, either on if you've got a speaker, sort of smart device type thing, or you know, on your Outlook calendar on your laptop, to just move. So get some movement into it. That would be one of my top tips.
Brilliant. Jo, what have you got for me?
Well, a lot of people have been saying they're spending a long time on video calls, and they're having the screens too low. So have the screen up at a nice height, because if it's too low, you're doing the same as what you're doing if you're on a phone or on an iPad a lot, and you're putting a lot of strain on the neck and shoulders. So if you just bring the screen up to a nice height, because you're not typing, so even if it's on a laptop, you know, you can raise the screen up. You are just talking as a screen, and it will just sort of alleviate that neck and shoulder tension.
That's a great tip, because even if you can't work in that posture all the time, because unless you have a separate mouse and keyboard, you can't raise up your screen to physically type. But as Jo says, if you're on a conference call for half an hour, then just doing that and raising it up just for that temporary time would be a great one. Also, if you can work at maybe a higher surface, so a kitchen counter on the ironing board, and stand up during your conference call, and give your colleagues something to laugh at. If they see you kind of, you know, doing a little bit of step in the background as well, then it'll give them something to talk about and encourage them to do it too.
Because a lot of people are saying, you know, they're on a call for sometimes 2 hours. And that's a long time to be in one position for, isn't it? So but maybe going in the future, there might be sort of like a 5-minute or like a 2-minute break where people can get up and get a drink, or, you know, you have sort of, because that's a long time to even focus on a video call, isn't it? If you were actually face to face in a meeting room, would you have a 2-hour meeting or without getting up or moving? But now we're on video calls, we're doing it, so we need to learn to maybe get some movement during those calls somehow.
That's a great suggestion for networking groups. I mean, I go into a lot of networking groups, and it's a good, you know, I'm hoping that you're doing the same and suggesting that to people. So, right, let's have a 2-minute break, go and get a cup of tea or go and get a coffee or whatever, just so that you're not sitting there. Because I think on average, I'm probably an hour and a half to 2 hours in a lot of these meetings. So yeah, it's a really good point. I also really like the point about lifting the camera up higher. there's a couple of bonuses from my perspective on that one, because you actually look better. It lifts up your head, it puts more light in your eyes, and we don't hide some of this stuff, and we're not looking up through people's noses. So lifting it up is one of my top tips as well for actually just looking better on Zoom. So that's you know, definitely an advantage on that one. So that's brilliant. So yeah, excellent. I'm really enjoying this. So you know, what sort of have you got anybody that you sort of that's inspired you? You know, who's been your mentors? You seem to mentor each other, to be honest, but you know, who else sort of is somebody that you can mention that's important to you guys?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Graham, because that's one of the things that Joe mentioned yesterday when we were working over the sort of the questions that you sent to us for today. And we have got a couple of people that we're coming to mention in a moment, but Joe then said, didn't you, each other? And I was like, oh, and I suppose because in some ways, because we've been working so closely for so long, you kind of forget that how close we are, and you know how much we do rely on each other, because we are each other's support and you know so mentor in some ways. You know, we both have different skill sets, we both have different backgrounds. You know, one thing that I maybe not quite so good at, Joe's better at, and maybe something that Joe's not quite so good at, I might be better at. You know, one person might come up with an idea and then kind of the other mentions it to the other person, and it grows and grows, and you know, with that contribution of each of us, that's I think mostly why we work so well together. That was nice actually to think about that in that way yesterday. I was a little bit surprised, but it was lovely.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And I think you know, all the networking that we've done over the last couple of years, and the friends that we've met on LinkedIn mainly, and you know, just different networking events, I think now that is really helping, because we've got those connections. It's now going from face to face onto Zoom and webinars, and we know some of these people already. But being self-employed is quite lonely, but we're not alone because we've got all this network around us. And I think as well, through you talk about mentors and people that helping, because we've had these connections, we've kept friends with people that have trained us in the past. You know, we've still got contact with those people. Like for instance, the desk assessor trainer, Anthony Hilton, we've been talking to him saying, how are you doing now? You know, how are you getting your work out? And we've thrown our ideas around together. And also our advanced clinical trainers are called Jing. They're in Brighton. They're brilliant, aren't they, Laura?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like a big family, and there's just a load of therapists all in together in one family, and they have been online 2 or 3 times a week, having big Zoom chats. They're giving out tips. They're doing massages. We can, you know, do meditation. We're doing yoga together. So it's just a big community online, and we've all got the same thing in common. We're all therapists, so you know, we're all helping each other through this.
That's so good. That's so good. I'm so glad that you picked each other as mentors as well. I think that's fantastic. You've got such a great partnership, and you know, I haven't known you that well. Oh, sorry, not that well. I've not known you that long, and immediately you can tell you've got a great vibe between you. It's just great. Just to kind of wrap up now, is there anything else you'd like to say to people? You know, anything at all? Anybody you want to thank, or just any last words of wisdom?
So that's what I think is quite nice about the networking, because, you know, we're all professionals in our own way. You know, we're therapists, we're hands-on, you know, we're good at what we do. You know, we like to help people and, you know, and put those skills forward, but we're not technical. We're not, you know, we're not video, you know, we don't do videos, we don't do websites, but this is our own business. So we have to learn as we go. You know, we've been learning about our own websites, haven't we, Laura? Yeah. Social media, and now, you know, you're helping us do this. So, you know, it's better. We're learning every single day. Is a learning day, isn't it?
Definitely.
Thank you.
Really nice talking to you guys, and hopefully lots of people will get to see this and will feel the same way as I do. So yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you, Graham. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.